your story, Economic Times, and on the TV channels and everywhere. So there's a vast presence in media where people have recognized Packman as an industry leader, and it has been doing good so far. And it has been giving all the information regarding the packaging and uh, portraying as a uh, industry leader, as well as for the responsible packaging, wherein we promote packaging for eco-friendly and protecting the environment, doing ethical activities. And this is how we promote the brand. Next slide, please. These are some of the existing clients like Amazon. Since day one, when Amazon started, we have been supplying the packaging to Amazon. They have been very kind to us. We have been supplying packaging to them even today. And then there are some more automobile companies like Allied Nippon, Bosch, Maruti, some mobile companies like Lava, Vivo, Samsung, some gifting companies like Funds and Petals and Haldirams and Finolex. These are some electrical companies. So the sky is the limit if we talk about the future in packaging. These are a few of the brands that I am able to show you, which are the existing clients right now. Next slide, please. Okay, so here we talk about how we personalize the packaging. Now, packaging may be personalized in a various way. For example, somebody who is making cup and donuts, they are not concerned about general packaging. They are only concerned, how do I package my cup and donut? So we have the personalized solution for cupcakes and donut boxes. In the same way, belt, accessories, people sell so many apparels and accessories online, but they do not know how to package that. Now these are some of the solutions that we provide. These are personalized solution in which we can package, we can deliver, and this gives a good branding to our clients as well. In the same way, pizza, you see pizza outlets in each and every corner, but they need boxes, but they usually do not know where to source them. The bigger companies definitely do, but the smaller companies, a small outlet, do not know from where to source the pizza boxes, what size it should be, what should be the specification. So without questioning so many things, we can easily offer them the pizza box. And in the same way, you can see the eyewear packaging. This is one of our very old client, Lenskart. We are supplying packaging to them since day one. They started their operation back in 2010, December. So this is the packaging of optical. You can see how to package optical and stuff like that. So these are some of the examples where you can see the packaging can be used in different industries. And if we simplify it, if we talk only about their own department, their own industry, then it will be very easy to pitch them. Next slide, please. Okay, now we talk about the opportunity. What exactly is the opportunity? Okay, so we are sitting here. There's a water bottle in front of me. The water has no value without the bottle. The water is supposed to be free, but the moment it goes inside the bottle, it's 15 rupees. That is packaging. Whatever you see right now while talking to me on the table is packaged. So there is nothing which does not require packaging. Even in COVID-19, packaging was the first industry which was allowed to open on 20th of March, because everything needs packaging, even the essential or anything. So no industry can survive without packaging. We have to understand that. So that makes it very, very, very special. Even the laptop that you are holding or mobile you are holding, that came into a that came in a packaging. So this is a beauty of this industry. Now, the second point, packaging market will only grow. Definitely, the products will come. The requirement of a specific product will increase. Definitely, the packaging requirement will increase too. So It will only grow. There is no option, there is no point that the demand may come down. It will always grow at any specific point of time. One more thing I would like to tell you, that there are some times when automobile industry is down. There are times when e-commerce is down. But if you are in packaging, then if automobile is down, maybe e-commerce is up. If e-commerce is down, maybe food industry is up. So you will never see downfall in packaging industry. That I assure you with my 18 years of experience. That is why I love this industry. This is not just my business, it is my passion. That makes it more important. Third point, please. Packman is the most popular brand in India. Do not trust me, just Google it. Trust packaging, search packaging or search any keyword, you will get Packman on the first page of Google. That's how we are working. Fourth point, Indians are very price sensitive. Wherever you go, you will be questioned that what is the price? They are very price sensitive. So our experience with cost cutting will come handy. We are 100% sure that the Packman prices with the experience by saving the wastage and everything, we will be able to gather the orders and market for sure. Fifth point, first mover advantage. No other opportunity in this segment. Please understand that there is no official, there is no organized company in India right now which is offering such an opportunity for you guys to come and join hands and to grow and to make it an organized market and grow together. There is no other company. There are small companies working for themselves. But if we come together, then we can get the first mover advantage that you see Packman everywhere in India. And then you will be proud of joining Packman after 5 or maybe 7 years, that you were the first mover and you have been successful so far. Next point, game changer vision of making this industry service oriented. Now, people think that we just manufacture and we just deliver, and that is how it has been seen so far. But no, with Packman, we provide service. Your customer will love you. They will always remember you. They will call you even if your price is 20 paisa higher. They will still remember you because of you. They are able to deliver their packages on time. Because of you, because of Packman, they are able to get packaging on time and great services, and also going out of the way for making their brand outstanding by working on the design and everything. So this is a very important thing. Then customization of any level, even for smaller quantities. Unfortunately, in our country, people do not uh, uh, entertain smaller quantities. They say this is the MOQ, this is the minimum order quantity we can do. So that is where the small seller, the small maybe in a tier 3 city, somebody has a shop, maybe a gift shop or maybe a cake shop, but he doesn't know how to get those 500 cake boxes. But now we entertain small quantities. Even for 500 quantity, we can give them uh, uh, even for 500 quantity, we can give them the branded packaging. So they will get the cake boxes even for the smaller quantity. So it will be great. Last point, already supplying to major brands across India, as I told you. So that is a plus point. We are already uh, 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 supplying to so many brands. So we are already visible in the industry. Next slide, please. These are the financial snapshot. Only 350 square feet area is required. Now we have tried to keep it very small so that even the small investors can join this opportunity. So the area required is only 350 square feet. With only this area, we can start Packman franchisee. Now this is where we talk about business. Setup cost is only 9 lakh rupees, which is a very minimum cost which we try to keep. The complete investment return is in 19 months. Whatever your investment is, it will be returned within 19 months. As per the calculations, the profit of 6.6 lakhs will be there in first year, and that all the expenses has been taken care to calculate this profit. Complete support of any type from Packman. The point is we are seeking for franchisee for growth together. So we will always taking care of the investors and the franchisee. So you will get all kind of support that is required from Packman, because our future is also dependent on you, and we are definitely here for long. Great opportunity in tier 1, tier 2, and even tier 3 cities. As I discussed before, packaging is required everywhere, even the smaller industries, even a small shop, even a big company. So there is this opportunity required in all kind of cities. Stock transfer at 83% of the MRP. So now we are selling the product at 83% of the MRP. If the product MRP is 100 rupees, we are selling it to you for 83 rupees, and you are selling it for 100 rupees, and this is how it is working. The revenue projection is rupees 15 lakhs in average per month. This is what we are eyeing within first 2 years. So this is how we see the financial of the company. Next slide, please. So as I discussed regarding the packaging, now this is a time of question and answers, and I will be answering all the questions that people can ask.
Thank you, Gaurav. Very good insights, and I'm very delighted to have you on the panel, because I remember when I first spoke to you, I was very impressed with your passion about packaging. And before we really start on getting into business model or any other discussion, I would like to understand what was your trigger as an entrepreneur, because in 2002, when you decided to get into packaging, what was your trigger? Where this idea came from for you?
The idea was when I was in college, when I was in school, I always saw things getting packaged. I saw, what is this? Everything is getting packaged. This is one product which is having a vast future, you know. I mean, the watch you are wearing, the specs you are wearing, the coat I am wearing, everything gets packaged, you know. So when we see that this is something which is a necessity, then we do not have to pitch people, because that becomes a necessity. People need it. You do not have to convince people to sell it, because people require it. When it is a requirement, then definitely it's a good thing to go. Number two, it's the creative. There is a long scope for the creativity in packaging. It is just not necessity. For example, in industries like jewelry, they just don't need packaging. They need luxury packaging, because they cannot sell jewelry without a fancy box, which would cost around 2,000 rupees. They cannot sell chocolate without a fancy box. They need a luxury, good looking box. Then only they can justify the expensive price of a chocolate. So now even the packaging company, packaging mindset is growing. So this is what I thought at that time, that right now it is necessity and it will become luxury very soon. And this is how I am happy to see it happening.
Very interesting, and I think for audience, they should know that how the industries move. You know, they normally move from what I call unorganized to organized, and that's what happened with packaging. And then move from organized to specialized, which means that brands would start asking special solutions, like food company would ask food grade material. Health companies would ask some different structures. If you have you need some insulation in packaging or in jewelry, you need luxury. So a lot of specialization would start coming in packaging. And
that's a very good point. Yes.
Yeah, and then it will further go from specialized to personalized, which means the brands would like their uniqueness and say, I want a different kind of pizza box, and I would have a different kind of design. I will have that. So the whole industry will move from what I call unorganized to organized, which you did, and then you are doing now from organized to so to say specialized, and specialized to personalized. So I congratulate you that you are a visionary and you are able to see this through. A lot of people are not able to do that. They still run a commodity business. They don't understand how you can change the commodity business if you add solution with it. So if you add solution with any commodity business, the whole behavior of consumer, how they look at you as a solution provider rather than just a box provider. So that's a great opportunity, and I agree with you, especially now, and why we chose to actually trouble you to come on and address our audience. And we have over 300 people coming through because why so much of interest? Because this is your time. This is a time when everything is packaged, and everybody is these days go to offices and find boxes lying in their receptions. They go to their RWAs, they find a lot of boxes lying outside. So everything coming to you is packaged, and it continue to become even more. And so it's a business which would thrive at this hour. And just for our audience, what Gaurav has done is that he's understood this business into two levels, and everybody should understand. And Gaurav, you can contribute. One is a level which is a corporate business. Corporate business comes from large institutional orders, which is Lenskart, or Amazon, or other delivery platforms, or a Flipkart and things like that. They buy in bulk. They buy from large volumes, and they would continue to increase volumes and so on and so forth. So all the chain stores, all the large corporate accounts, a lot of auto accounts, they buy volume, and they normally would like to have very long-term contracts and long-term capabilities being built. Normally, these companies would even have a OEM sitting next to them, close to their factory, because packaging is integrated to their business models and so on and so forth. Then there is another bigger business which people don't realize, which we call the local business or the retail business. So which means that if I was in Dehradun, I saw somebody saying from Dehradun, if you open up in Dehradun, you need to look around who needs you. Who is leading you is small businesses around you, small manufacturers who also deliver from there, smaller retail chains which would need packaging for their products, and then end user. Even an individual, if you want to send something and wants a box, there is nothing we can do. We try to make our own boxes out of whatever we get. So we don't get a formal packaging. And there are global companies in this space. There, America saw this packaging retail revolution in sometime in late 80s and early 90s, and there were chains being built. Even UPS, which is the largest delivery platform in US, actually runs stores in US, and they actually launched in India also, in Bombay with Jet Airways. There was a store by UPS long time back which was specialized on packaging, because they realized that even individuals need to send their documents, their other things. They need a lot of packaging, and there are UPS stores. There are a lot of other companies there is another company in US called Mailbox, etc., which runs in about 75 countries now. So these are huge organizations which have built what I call retail offering in packaging. So now I'll start with a couple of questions for you, Gaurav, and which would be interesting for our audience. So every time we start this session, we talk about the 5 things which are critical for franchising. One is credibility. I give you full marks because you have proven it. You worked 18 years in this industry, attended best of the clients, most demanding clients. So you have a huge amount of credibility. No question about that. Second is predictability. Do you have done some kind of business intelligence? This is my first question. That you can know what is the size of business in, say, Ahmedabad or a Surat. When the franchisee starts, where is the business going to come from the first 3 months, 6 months, and so on and so forth. So I'll run the question, and then I'll give it to you for full options. One is on predictability. How do you bring predictability to the business? Adaptability, because a lot of orders can come in where a customer has a small demand of creating adaptability. So you have a back-end R&D team which would work with the franchisees to create solutions for their clients. So that's more on adaptability. Sustainability, I have no problem, because a low-cost franchise is only 9 lakh rupees. It doesn't have anything which is perishable. It doesn't have any loss of stock and things like that. So I feel that it is much more sustainability. And third is scalability. I feel that you have taken, obviously, retail sales, entire thing, but as a franchisee, you have also ability to bring big orders. You can even go and create larger accounts. You can tie up with the larger industries in let's say if you are in Haridwar, you can tie up with Patanjali and things of that nature. So if a franchisee brings in those bigger accounts, how do you deal? You give the same margin or the margin changes? How the scalability of this business model can be done? So I have questions on predictability, adaptability, and scalability. Over to you, Gaurav.
Okay, so the first part of your question is the adaptability. Now, when we think places like Muradabad, where brass business is very vast, and then we talk about leather industry in Kanpur, then the localization gets very important. So if we in the localization, if we also focus in specialization, then that makes it a wonderful combination. For example, if there is a franchisee in Muradabad, there is no way they cannot get business because there are no organized players in that area. And if we only produce and supply products related to brass in that area, then definitely it will work. And this is how we are even doing today. We get so many orders from Muradabad, but we are unable to cater because we are not present there. We are not able to communicate with them in such a nice way that a local person would do. So that is why that thing will always help. And about the scalability, we have the fully automatic plant, as well as we have a huge production capability. We just need the partners to get more and more orders. The more orders we get, we expand the plant. So there is no problem with the expansion. As I said, we are already supplying to companies like Honda, Maruti, Havels, and we are already working with a lot of corporates, even Amazon, lakhs of boxes delivering every day to Amazon. So of course, we are already working with corporates, so there is no point with the volumes of the product. Uh, we are only looking for the partners who are uh, coming to us, and we are ready to share the resources. Number three, the support that you talked about. There's a dedicated team that will be taking care of the franchisee itself, a toll-free number which is available every time, and all the information and every kind of thing will be taken care of. Because what I believe is that a single person cannot grow. We have to grow together. So this is how I see all the things related to packaging and all the questions that you asked me.
And on the institutional accounts, so if the franchisee would be able to bring in institutional accounts, the margins would change.
Yes, it will change because when the volume goes high, then the cost comes down. This is how the manufacturing works. So definitely when the volumes goes up, then the margins will definitely improve. And we are looking for a higher margin in that case.
So if I would take an example, a company which has 100 stores, not as big as Lenskart, but maybe a Himalaya Optical, what kind of a volume they would do? I mean, just for our audience to understand real numbers, what volume and what kind of a monthly packaging requirement by cost framework they would have. Say a company which has 100 stores, or say I work in Ahmedabad with 50 store cake shop. What is the kind of volume monthly they would buy from a company? So what is the monthly volume?
You mean to ask me that if there is a franchisee and they are serving to a specific company which has more than 15 to 20 stores, then what is the volume they are looking for? Is that correct? That is your question?
Right. Yeah. What is the volume, and what is the kind of in a money terms, what is the monthly billing which single account with 15-20 stores would have?
I would say 5 to 8 lakh rupees in an average for a month.
So 5 to 8 lakh rupees, and which means that they would work on a 13-14% absolute margin.
Yes.
And so which means that even if you do a billing of 5 lakh rupees, your potential is about 50,000 rupees from that single account.
Yes, single account. This is we're talking about a single account, and if you have a big client, then definitely it will help.
So which means that this is for information of our audience, that if a franchisee starts this retail business and if able to get say 10 or 15 accounts like these only, and manage relationships and manage their solutions and fulfillment, there is a percentage of revenue what you can really make out of that. So
I'm pretty sure about this. Yes.
Yeah. So I like to invite Sonia to take her views and also start taking some questions, because we have tons of questions coming in, and we will like to take as many questions we have. Sonia, over.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Gaurav Jalan. I was looking on the right-hand side of the panel. I see a flood of questions on the right side and a lot of technical questions, which I'm sure, I'm sure you're seeing that. I'm sure. So we'll take that and I assume that some of these have been answered. But just putting a perspective, Mr. Jalan, on the global scale, packaging industry is rather a very big economic generator. And in the last many years, you also mentioned, we have seen the demand, which has been growing very high, especially from the food and the pharma segment. And now online is a big demand which is coming up with the preference of people going online and buying. My first question to you is, we from the user or end user side, the industry is segmented, and on the other side, it is segmented from the material side. So end user, we have food, beverage companies, we have healthcare, we have cosmetic companies, personal care, household and industrial, and on the material side, we have paper, plastic, metal, and glasses. Now, if you see how overall, globally the industries have been disrupted, so what I see, there will also be how packaging companies like you will also have your own recovery pathway, coming back. And that I feel will be largely dependent on how your end user is also responding or recovering at the same time. So which means at this stage, we see food and beverage not doing that well. People are not ordering outside, but pharma is up and online would be up. So my question to you is, which end user segment do you think your franchisee need to focus on at this stage? One. Second, do you think the investment or the capacity would change if they're focusing on not all of these user segments, but specific to their maybe zone or city, or because we did talk about we talked about food, we talked about other segments that your company has been catering to. Do you foresee, I don't know how long will that be? Will that be short term or long term? But in the short term or the medium term, do you think there is a need for your franchisee and for you as a company to only focus on certain end user industries?
Okay. No, I would say it depends on the franchisee's interest and their own networking capability. For example, people should only follow their heart. If they should be doing only the things that they love, that I always believed in. So if there is a franchisee which has a keen interest in automobile industry, or if they know more people, or they have better knowledge about that specific industry, or they have those kind of industries more in their area, then definitely they should focus on that, because definitely they cannot cater all the industries. I totally understand. They should be focusing on specific industries. So I would definitely say that they should be focusing only on the area of their own interest, because if the interest arises, if the passion is there, then only they will get the business. Not just the business, even the relationship, even in any way in the life, you get success only when you follow your heart. So I would say if they have a keen interest in a specific industry, then they should be focusing on that industry. For example, if there's a female franchisee and she has a keen interest in maybe cakes and food, she has so much interest in food and cake, then she will be able to blend better with the clients who are making cakes and stuff like that. They will be having those kind of talks, that personal level of interaction. The relationship between a seller and a buyer is not just a transaction. It is also a relationship which builds with the common area of interest. So if the seller is able to understand the buyer's product, then nothing like it. So this is what I believe in.
Okay, so this leads to me a question, so you talked about the element of interest. Don't you think this would be different to the demand and the opportunity? What we are seeing is, as a player, like I mentioned, there is disruption which is happening, and some industries at this stage might not be in demand.
This is a very good question. Now, the point A, which I said, that is correct. But if you are an expert with the experience, if you have a franchisee for 5-6 months, if you say down in a specific industry and you are an expert, believe me, the opportunity will come itself. Even from the sources, where your interest is not there. For example, like I gave you an example of cakes or something, and the industry is not working, but your mindset is now related to packaging. You have the information, you have the data, you have the confidence, then you can cater any industry. I will give you a very classic example. Our factory opened on 20th of March by government guidelines, and we did not have any orders. And I did not know what we're gonna do now. And suddenly we started getting requirement for the mass packaging. And this is what we are manufacturing now. Every day we are making 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh mass boxes. This is one company. This is another company. You must have heard of a company CP Plus. CP Plus. Now CP Plus has also come in medical devices now. This is CP Med now. So we are the official manufacturer of CP Med. Now I had no interest in mass packaging. I never thought about it. This is not my passion. This is not my passion. But for COVID-19, at least the opportunity came. Why it came? Because I followed my passion. My mind is now matured enough to handle even those things which are coming as an opportunity. And this is how it is working. So now I am seeing it as a blessing in disguise. And we are making medical equipment packaging, and we are working 24 hours now. I never thought that post COVID-19 we will be working at such a higher level. So it comes automatically, Sonia. It comes automatically. You have to follow your heart and passion. That is correct. But when the opportunity arises, you are definitely capable of handling that as well. That I'm pretty sure.
So great.
And opportunity comes itself. Opportunity comes itself.
Yeah. So, Gaurav, so which of the total segments that you cater to, which of these you see becoming bigger? Why some segments might look very short-lived, because how people behave and how consumers behave in these times will be very different to how they would behave in a normal environment.
Definitely.
Do you foresee any particular segment which becomes big and you think your franchisee or you as a company needs to focus more on, because consolidation of that would really help you in building these economies of scale?
Very good question again. Food delivery is growing. Now people cannot go, so food are coming. So now we are focusing more on food delivery packaging. For example, the thali, the plastic thali, the food delivery bags, and those kind of stuff we are focusing. That is increasing. Medical devices packaging, I already shared with you. And in the same way, e-commerce is growing. The stores are closed, so now there are Amazon started delivering everything since 4 days now. Amazon on Flipkart. So the demand has increased like anything. And even the unorganized players in this industry, for example, small players, small brands who are having their own website, even they are growing because they cannot open their store. So there are come so far.
Okay, very relevant. While you talked about COVID, I feel there's also a change that we are seeing in the packaging choices, both from the consumer side and also from the end user, because they want to have packaging which is minimizing maybe the virus staying on the surfaces.
Yes.
One. And second, equally, there's a big demand. When I say demand from the consumer, what the people like us, we don't want to pay too much for packaging. So we have to be price sensitive. Second, for a company like you, while you have to keep up to that, you also need to ensure there's sufficient volumes and orders coming in so that your plant is completely utilized. So what kind of an impact financially you think it is having on overall production, keeping in mind the concern which is coming up due to safety all across your end users?
Okay, so since we started, we definitely thought that it will be difficult to start, because we thought there will be only 4 to 5 number of working hours we will be starting with. So definitely we have started with more number of hours that we thought of, that we are better at that side. But definitely there was a cash crunch in the beginning, because people, after COVID-19, everybody knows that the cash crunch will be there. So that the problem we faced in the first 10 to 15 days. But as the industries started opening up, the cash flow started coming in very smoothly. So that problem is getting solved. Regarding the sanitization of the product and regarding the safety of the products, we are using only those products like recyclable products, and whenever the raw material is opening the coming in the factory, the raw material has been sanitized in multiple layers. So we are taking extra care of that, and also we are making videos and educating our buyers that this is how we are taking care of the packaging. And the good thing is the packaging is use and throw, so they can all they do not have to keep the packaging at home. So this is how we see it.
Great. I'll take up some questions from the audience. And the first question which I would like to take, because I see somebody who has some kind of manufacturing capability. So while we talked about a franchise model which requires a specific space and a investment close to 10 odd lakhs, are you also considering manufacturing as an opportunity? Because there are two kind of one is flexible packaging, the other is rigid packaging, and rigid obviously requires a bigger space. Both by I would say volume, and logistics also is difficult. So between these two, do you think there would be a need for you to have also manufacturing plant in locations where logistics might be a problem?
As I always maintained, and I also said that one man cannot do wonders. You always need a team to grow together. So it comes from the right side also, and it comes from the left side also. So now we are talking about the left side. Definitely, we need the networking for the vendors as well. Definitely, we need the networking in terms of manufacturing as well. If we have a local manufacturer, then definitely we can work upon a system where through a software we can work on the financials, and we can utilize his manufacturing capabilities and somebody else's marketing capabilities, and that is how I think we all can grow.
Okay. All right. So we have somebody who wants to know, because you talked about your institutional ties with Amazon, Donut, and many other companies, and we assume that these tie-ups are at the national level. So do you see a role of your franchisee playing in supplying or fulfilling these orders at the local level?
Please ask this question again.
See, Gaurav, you mentioned about your companies tie up with companies like Amazon and a lot of food brands, which I saw, Lenskart and other brands, which are at a national scale. So I'm assuming your demand is coming at a national scale. So if you have a franchisee in a specific zone, what role would he play in fulfilling these orders, which is coming from these institutions?
Yes, very nice. So now Amazon has 23 warehouses all over India. Flipkart has 18 warehouses all over India. So now what we have to do, we are manufacturing in Greater Noida, and we have to supply even to Chennai, even to Bangalore at the same price as we are delivering in Delhi, because we have to keep the same price for simplicity. Amazon or any company is incapable of having multiple prices of same SKU. That is practically not possible, and also it does not apply to the policy where you want to keep simplicity. So we keep only one price, and that is how industry works. So definitely, if there is a manufacturer in Chennai or in Bangalore or maybe in East India like Sikkim, then the local manufacturer will help saving the cost of the logistic, because the logistic cost may be high.
Okay, so one is manufacturing, the other is a local franchisee of yours who's running his franchisee.
That's correct.
Will you also get the benefit of fulfilling orders like these? Will you be passing on some kind of margins or shares, or they might be differentiated margins because he's not procured it directly? It has come as a relationship through the parent, which is you. So you
we have a software system wherein the seller will get the manufacturer will get the login ID, the franchisee will get the login ID. So without login in, they cannot manufacture or cater the orders. So it will all be very transparent. So when everything will be transparent, then I don't see any problem with that, because if the manufacturer is doing manufacturing and the franchisee is doing selling, then we are doing the networking part. We have the authorization, we have the certificates, we have the branding and everything. So definitely that will help to the manufacturer as well as the seller.
Okay, now somebody has a question: what kind of obligations or role overall a franchisee needs to play, and what is the kind of support the brand would offer him?
Okay, so support, as I said, any kind of support. For example, first of all, we have to make sure that the franchisee is in profit. So if a person is investing in a brand, then that means they have started seeing the dream. Okay, they have started a business. So so if somebody is partnering with me, then his loss is my loss. So I think if I have to brief it, I will say only one thing, that as we Packman have to make sure that the franchisee has to be in profit, and good profit, and we will go out of the way to help it for, at any part.
So do you also see his role of getting local, because I think what he perhaps what I understand, he wants to understand his role in terms of getting or sourcing business locally. So which means he needs to go out, he needs to procure, and he should not be completely
Okay,
dependent on the
okay,
parent
I got it.
company to
I got
bring
it.
him orders.
Yes.
I
I
say
missed that
I
part.
tie with Amazon and you go and just do
Yes.
the fulfillment. But he also has a bigger role of also procuring these tie-ups at the local level and bringing business, and not completely
That
dependent on
we
the
have the
company.
database. We have the database of around 80,000 to 1 lakh leads of.
Gaurav, I think your sound is not there. Apologies, I think Mr. Jalan is facing some technology issues. Till the time, I think we can explain the model at Franchise India. So by the time he comes back or re-logs in and things like that. So there are two models which are in discussion. One is a retail model where you would open up a Packman retail store. The idea would be that you would have a lot of buy products, and also you would take a lot of from chain stores and local businesses, local manufacturing, local e-commerce companies, and so on. Be the exclusive partner for that city for all the packaging requirement which is there. It's a great opportunity. Multiple accounts can come in. I think now Gaurav is back. And second, also on a case-to-case basis, they're looking for an opportunity of what I call manufacturing. I see a lot of people writing who have manufacturing. A gentleman has written that he has a paper factory already. So very complimenting. So if they have something like that, they obviously can reach out and there can be. So what Gaurav's team has done is that they have built tremendous capability on R&D, product customization, economies of scale understanding, because they buy a lot of raw materials and so on and so forth, and relationship management with large accounts and so on and so forth. So these are important areas which they have already done. And I think what they need is a lot of capturing a lot of retail business, which is currently fragmented and you don't have a destination. If I ask the audience right now and say, where would you go if you want now packaging? You will not have a firm answer. So there is no destination brand available in the market, which I think is remarkably changed. And so Gaurav, I think you're back. So we were waiting for you, and I was trying to explain the model in the.
Yes, thank you so much, Gaurav, to add it. So I was just saying that we have the data, and every day we receive so many inquiries for cities like Jamshedpur, Bihar, and smaller cities also, and we are unable to cater it, and that is very unfortunate. We have the capability, but we do not reach those areas. That is the whole idea about getting the franchisee. So Sonia's question, with which somebody asked about the local thing, that how will we help? So we will be transferring those leads to the franchisee of that specific area. We are getting about 100 to 150 inquiries every day, and we are incapable of handling that because we are not living in that area. So that is why we want to divert those leads to that specific franchisee, that they should be handling it, and this is how they will get the support.
Great. And having said that, we also like to inform our people on the webinar. It is also the responsibility of individual franchisees also to procure business and not to be dependent only on the company to feed in with the businesses. Okay. So we have a question. How much is there a radius within which the franchisee is awarded? Is some exclusivity which is given? How does it work?
I think 50 kilometers should be an ideal area that we can discuss with Francorp also, that what should be the area.
And is there a master model also where you award the franchisee for the entire state or maybe a bigger area?
Yes. We are looking for that also. because India is a big country. So definitely we will looking for master franchisee as well, who will be taking care for the small franchisee.
Okay, Gaurav, what kind of minimum revenue you think should one unit make in order to break even? Well, we talked about some revenues and the margins in your presentation, but what ideally should be revenue one should focus at least?
Around 7.5 lakhs.
And what are the costs involved apart from the cost of the material? Which are the other costs? The cost of running. What kind of rentals would it be? What kind of manpower do you need in a 500 square feet of unit?
Okay, so for that, is Anshul here? No. Okay, one moment. Other than that, I'm opening the file. Can you please ask the next question?
Sure. And having said that, I feel a lot of people have asked this question because you don't need a premium place for this, and so the rentals obviously need not be very high as far as the location is concerned.
The rentals are not high because you are not selling anything which should be in the market. You are not selling a pizza. You are not B2C. You are B2B. In B2B, even if your presence is not in a mall or in a very in a very popular area, you can always sell because branding will work. If people need packaging, they will come to you. You should just be able to open that file, Excel file. So you should just be able to have a good marketing around your area. So I think rental should be low because you are not working in a very popular area.
Okay. What is the breakup of this 9 lakhs? We talked about the franchise fees. We have Semi who wants to know 9 lakhs includes what all components?
I'm just sharing the same.
All right. I think
I'm just sharing the same.
Question.
Yes. One moment, please. So 2.5 lakh we have assumed in interiors and fit outs. And in equipment, we have assumed another 1.5 lakhs. The pre-opening will be 1 lakh. The opening stock that franchisee has to keep is 2 lakhs to start the business. And franchisee fee, which is we have kept very minimum, that is only 2 lakh rupees because we are not looking to make any profit out of franchisee fee. We are looking for a long-term association with the franchisee, and that makes a total of 9 lakh rupees.
Okay. Any opportunity for a distributor or a stockist?
I think that should come in second phase maybe, because when they have the franchisee in that area, then definitely the opportunity for the stockist and warehousing and everything will come up.
Okay, so we have Vijay who wants to know that a lot of clients who look at samples to be sent to them before they make a decision.
Samples are always free. Samples are always free.
Okay.
We do not charge anything for the sample. I understand that if you have to generate business, then you have to show sample to the client as a goodwill gesture. Packman and also any good businessman, any ethical business should give the sample free of. The client develops the confidence in the brand.
Interesting.
Okay.
And also, I think we should touch upon, because we have not mentioned, this is just not, when you open up a retail business, it's just not one part of the business, which is packaging, but you will do a lot of allied services also, which are solutions. Solutions are packaging solutions. You would also be integrated. We are advancedly helping Packman to partner with, say, a company like FedEx, where you would have a logistic solutions also available. So when a small business owner comes and they want to use not only just the packaging capabilities, they would also like to maybe use the logistic capabilities, which is using the courier and that thing. So it's an integrated model. This model is not available anywhere. You know where to get the packaging, how to get it properly packed and make it ship ready, and where to go and ship. So these are all fragmented in India. Now imagine if you have one place where you can go for your packaging, make it ship ready, and also ship it from there itself, where you get FedEx picking up or DTDC picking up or any other delivery picking up or any other delivery platforms doing it. So this is probably India's only integrated packaging to shipping business model. Very
good point. This is usually called fulfillment centers. fulfillment center is the need of an hour, where a person is having his own warehouse and tie up with the local FedEx and local Blue Dart or local companies, and or maybe having his own logistic company. So the fulfillment center will be providing this service, and there's a great scope of it. So warehousing, logistic, and packaging. If these three things combined, that it's a deadly combination, because then we talk about the solution, not just the product. And that is where my vision come. If we go back to the slide, I said that my vision is to convert this industry from product to the services. People people should no longer be considering this industry as a product providing industry. We are providing the solution. And when we add logistic and we add the warehousing, then this is a perfect solution, Gaurav, and we should definitely work on it. And if somebody is interested in this, we are definitely open about it. A good area with good logistic, it will definitely work.
So very good, interesting warehousing, packaging, and logistics.
Yes.
So
these are the three pillars. These are the three pillars. Yes.
A very WPL structure.
Yes.
If you have all three, you can create an absolutely great fulfillment point. And a lot of franchisees who are part of this forum should really consider how do you want to integrate warehousing. Small warehousing, you don't need big, maybe 1,000, 2,000 square feet. You have a good packaging capability and you have a good logistic capability tied up. You will become an absolutely great small business service provider, which is the need of the hour. And it's a leaner business. It doesn't require too much of cost. You don't have to pay high rentals. It can be, and in the front you can have a little bit retail store. At the back you have a logistics center, and so it's a tremendous business model, very very sustainable. And in times to come, with all this, what is going to come in India, what we call the hyper local delivery, this business is going to be probably the biggest boom you will see in next 2 to 3 years, because everybody is talking about this hyper local delivery. How you deliver, you have to pack it in something. So there would be a lot of change in the way business is going to be running. So it's a great timing. So think through if you can be the first one to bring it to your city and launch this before anybody does it.
Yes, with your international experience, Gaurav, it is very well said. It's a very good point, which I was forgetting. And these are the three pillars: logistics, warehousing, and packaging. And if we achieve this thing with the help of our franchisee all over India, then definitely my only one goal, when you think about packaging, think about Packman, that can be easily achieved. That should be, in the mind of the consumer.
Excellent. Sonia, as we have already covered our time, so while the questions are still continue to pour in, I'm just
looking at the number of questions. I say I can't take up all these questions, and they're coming from all across, smaller cities, bigger cities. So we can't take up all these questions at the moment. I think my suggestion would be we take these questions offline. A lot of people want to understand how it works, if there's a possibility in their respective cities.
This is a reflection. This is a reflection of the importance of this industry, Sonia. The questions coming in and so many participants in this. This is a reflection. This is the advantage of first-time mover. There is a great opportunity that everybody should part of.
Great, thank you, Gaurav. I think before we say bye to all our viewers, your last words, and then we can formally close our webinar today.
I think we lost again. Gaurav, I like his passion about packaging, and we are also very passionate about franchising. So we say every industry needs franchising, but I think I found another guy who's actually even more telling that every industry needs packaging. So he's very focused, and we need entrepreneurs like that who are extremely focused. And Franchising India is very proud to have associations with such entrepreneurs who bring in a lot of change and bring in better practices in the industry. Now I think he's back. So we're very proud of you, Gaurav, what you're doing, and keep doing a great work. It's also service to nation, because you running and you employing so many people, giving now forwarding this learning of yours as an entrepreneurial opportunity to a lot of other people who would take years to learn what you've learned in last 18 years. Must have worked hard. You must have had high days, low days, bad clients, money not being paid. So all the learnings would have come to you now. you are at this stage sharing 18 years of your learning of doing it by yourself. And I know when you would have started, it would have been a small business, and slowly with every step you've grown hard and come to this level. And this is a great it's actually service to entrepreneurship, I call, when you've learned anything in life and you have to pass it on to others.
Yes.
And franchising is a great way to pass your learnings to others, so that you can create a community. You can community of like-minded entrepreneurs who can also benefit from the same thing. And
there is no other way.
It's a positive infection, I would call it. There are a lot of negative infection going on in the world, but this is a very positive infection of entrepreneurship. So great having you. I mean, if you want to have your last comment, and then we can close the session.
I explained almost everything, so I will be happy to make it grow. And thanks for giving me the platform to share my views. Although in the first half of the webinar, I was little fast because I had 2 extra shots of coffee today. So I think I was able to communicate everything. So I'm just looking forward for great association, and that's all.
And Gaurav, you were kind enough to put your email ID also if anybody wants to reach you.
Definitely.
Just
Definitely.
Type your email ID, and
I'm doing it. I'm doing it right away.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right away.
And for our audience, if you want to reach Sonia and me, you can reach us through LinkedIn. We are happy to take all the questions and all the answers which you have on anything which you need to do. And or write to us at Franchise India emails, and reach out to teams of our teams would also give you our contact details. We will obviously set up for next week detailed one-on-one calls with Gaurav and Gaurav's team, because we want to really take this momentum, and the interest you've shown is very overwhelming. This is also a reflection of the industry, and everybody can see what industry would make sense, and so on and so forth. So we're all intelligent people. So it's a great opportunity. Archana, now I'd like to invite you to say the final thank you words, please.
So thank you so much, Gaurav sir. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am, and thank you so much, Gaurav, for the presentation. It was full of energy and passion. Thank you so much. As rightly said by Sonia ma'am and Gaurav sir, this is the webinar where we got maximum query, and we were tired giving answers to our participants. But for our participants, we'll definitely get back to you. Few of the calls are aligned with Gaurav today. For rest of the queries, we'll definitely come back to you through your email IDs and through your contact details. So from the depth of our heart, thank you so much everyone for putting all your efforts, your time, and sincere effort in attending this particular session. Thank you so much for joining us.
I would just like to add, let's make packaging a better industry. That's all.
Or Indian leadership in packaging. You should say that India should be. Why this should be industry. We should be world leader, not only supply here, but everywhere in the world. When you buy, rather than seeing the product inside, you should see packaging coming from India.
Yes.
And I was seeing, a lot of trends which are accepted now in personalization, minimalistic product designing. I saw some brown bags in your presentation. So I feel you've beautifully integrated all these in your business model. And you mentioned, the per capita consumption of packaging in India is very low compared to the global structure, almost, 4-5 times lesser in India. So we see a very big scope, and also, a big appreciation for the sustainability efforts that you put in the production, contributing to the circular economy. So we definitely feel there's a big opportunity for all of us, everybody who wants to be a part of this industry. Thank you so much.
I'm glad we are able to do it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, everyone. Tomorrow we have another brand coming up for a webinar. On your screen, you can see tomorrow we are representing very famous Dr. Sanjeev Roy for his session. My colleague Dheeraj has already shared the link with you. You can register yourself and you can join us tomorrow. With this thank you note, we really wish you take good care of yourself, your family. It's very important nowadays. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you.